Hi, and welcome to a vinyasa practice. My name is Kaylee. You might need to adjust the volume now that I've stepped away from the screen. When you're ready to get started, go ahead and lay down onto your back in whatever position is going to be most comfortable for you to find a long spine. So for a lot of people, extending the legs once we land on the back can actually create a little bit less space in especially the lower back. So if you want to join me and bend your knees, just bringing your spine into those natural curves. Your lower back might not touch the mat completely, that's okay. So take a moment to settle in, whatever position you're going to start your practice in. And then maybe you let your eyes soften to one spot on the ceiling or the sky above you. Or go ahead and close your eyelids down and bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart or your ribs. See if you can just take a couple breaths without trying to change your breath at all, just natural breaths. And be in observance of where you feel the breath moving in your body. Do you feel the breath moving into the hand on your belly? Or into the hand around your heart space? You might feel the breath moving into the shoulders or the nostrils. Just taking a moment to notice your natural breath pattern. And then from there, we'll start to be a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more conscious of where we're sending the breath. See if you can breathe into both of your palms here evenly without straining to make it happen. It doesn't need to be a big, huge, full in-breath, but feel a gentle expansion of the cylinder of your torso here, belly and chest. Little pause at the top. And then slow exhale through pursed lips. Empty, 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 empty the breath. Keep exhaling, pulling your lower abdominals in and up to start to find that activation of your core. Maybe the low back does get a little closer to the mat now. Again, breathe in, fill your belly, fill your ribs. See if you can breathe into the sides of the ribs. Pursed lips, exhale, slow as you empty, 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 empty. At the end of that out breath, the lower belly, lower abdominals pull in and up to squeeze a little bit more breath out of your lungs. Good, one more like that. Inhale into the front and the back of the belly, the right and the left sides of the ribs. And then slow exhale through pursed lips. Hold the core in. Blink your eyes open, bring your arms by your side. You can keep breathing here, but push into your feet, keeping your lower abdominals lifted, and then lift your hips. Start to find a little bit more action in your legs here, driving your feet down into the mat. Maybe you roll the shoulders underneath you. Maybe you start to push your feet down and energetically toward the top of the mat to roll back through your shoulder blades, just exploring the stretch. Finding that solid support, that foundation in the feet. Take another deep inhale and then start with your mid-back slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Lower your spine down. Try and articulate that lowering. Once your hips land, reach your arms over your head. Breathe in. You can let the back arch a little bit. And then exhale, arms to your side, lift your hips up. So we're gonna move breath and motion a couple times. Inhale, hips lower down slow and arms reach back. And then exhale, palms to your side, hips lift off of the mat. Take 3 more rounds. Long breath in, slow controlled movement here. Long breath out, strong in your legs. 2 more times, breathe in. Breathe out. Last one on your own. Meet me in your bridge pose. We're right here in this bridge. We're gonna add a little bit of upper body. Keep your hips lifted. You're gonna release the right hand from the mat. Reach your right arm across your body over to the space outside of your left shoulder and then roll to the left a little bit. So push your right foot down extra firm. Come back to that center. Let's bend the elbows here. Lower your hips. Bring your forearms so they're perpendicular to the floor. Push into your feet, reach across with your left arm. Really drive through that left foot to open the left hip. Come back to that bent elbow position and then go side to side. If this is a new movement to you, it might feel a little awkward or a little bit funky, and that is great because that means that we're building new neuromuscular pathways. We're connecting different mental wires to our anatomy. So key that we practice kind of these different movement patterns, different forms of coordination to keep that mind-body connection strong. Finish up on the left, come back through the center, hug your knees into your chest, rock around a little bit in any way that feels good. You could circle your knees around, you might rock side to side. And then cross your ankles, rock forward and backward along the length of your spine. Try and uncross the ankles and switch the cross. So every time you rock back, switch which ankle is in front. Here for 3. 2 more rocks, tuck the chin, massage the length of your spine. Last one, rock back, and then maybe hands free, ragdoll at the top of your mat. However you want to get there is great. Work with your body. We're working to get that hands-free transition. It might take some time, might take a lot of in-between bits of mobility. Once you find your ragdoll, catch the crooks of your opposite elbows, find a little sway. Give your head a gentle shake or a little nod of the chin, relaxing the base of the skull and the back of the neck. From your ragdoll, release your fingers down, heel toe your feet a little bit closer together. Keep the heels separated so that the pinky toe side of your feet is parallel with the long edge of your mat and with the pinky toe side of the other foot. Bring your palms to your shins as you find a halfway stretch. Press the palms into the shins. Feel your shoulder blades pull away from the ears. Take a breath in. And then catch the calves as you hinge at the hips. Drop the chin toward the chest and exhale. Do that again. Lift up halfway just for your inhale. Lengthen out the spine from tail to crown and then fold forward as you exhale. Last time, halfway stretch. Breathe in. Fold forward and empty out. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into your feet. Round your back a little bit as you slowly unroll. Lower abdominals pull up and in. Once your shoulders are over your hips, reach your arms up, push your feet down, pull the pelvis down as you lift the rib cage up. And then bring your hands to your heart. Let your eyes close or rest your gaze somewhere soft. For practice today, the intention that I'm going to set and that you're welcome to join me in bringing into your heart space is to show up, just to commit to showing up as best as you possibly can, while simultaneously giving yourself all of the self-compassion in the world so we can set this high standard for ourselves, for our practice. That's great, it's beautiful, and at the same time, go so easy on ourselves about how our efforts work out. Take a big breath in through your nose, fill up the belly, fill up the chest. And then sigh the exhale out through your mouth. And blink your eyes open, reach upward on your inhale. And then fold forward, hinge the hips, catch your calves, tuck the chin toward the chest as you exhale. Halfway stretch, take a big breath in, lengthening out the spine, bend your knees a bunch so that you can plant your hands, step back to plank pose, and then shift forward and backward. Spread out your fingers nice and wide. Try and press through the big toe mound and the little toe mound of your feet. Quads are engaged. Yes, this is challenging. Shift forward one more time. Take a big breath in, come onto the tippy toes. And then slowly with control, lower all the way down. You always have the option to drop the knees to keep that alignment in your spine and engagement in your core. Once you land, come onto the tops of the feet. Temp the fingers by the sides of the ribs. We're going to take a cobra stretch here. Press into all of your toenails. Lift the knees off the mat, but keep the feet down. Stay in your cobra, but we're gonna bring the thumbs right above the crown of the head. So elbows are bent, thumbs are right above the crown of the head. And then bend your left elbow as you rotate to the left. That left elbow is gonna come toward your side body. Inhale, bring that left arm forward to meet the right, and then swap it out. Exhale, right elbow pulls back. Inhale, thumbs are out in front of you. And then exhale, both elbows bend. Fingertips are gonna drop to the mat right underneath the underarms. Cobra pose, take a breath in. Child's pose, widen out the knees, send your hips back towards your heels. Take 2 deep breaths. On your next inhale, slide forward to your hands and your knees, tuck your toes under, and then downward facing dog as you exhale, lift your hips. Take a couple breaths here. You can set your gaze between your big toes or toward the center of your mat. The traditional drishti here is up toward your belly button. You can see if that works out for you. No stress if it doesn't. My eyes feel a lot happier looking back toward my big toes. When you're ready, lift your heels nice and high. Exhale the breath completely. We're going to use the strength of the arms, so you've got a spring-like motion here to hop your feet to the top of the mat. Or step them there. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Chest to thighs as you breathe out. Rise all the way up on the inhale. And then we go right back down as you exhale, nice and smooth. Halfway stretch, take a big breath in, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, high push up, lower all the way down, strong in your lower abdominals. Cobra pose, press into the tops of the feet, feel the knees leave the mat as you breathe in. And then exhale, just tap your forehead to the mat or to the floor in front of you. Come back to Cobra, bringing your thumbs over your forehead or over the crown of the head. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, left elbow pulls back, rotate to the left, keep pressing into the tops of the feet. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull right elbow, rotate a little bit to the right so the bottom of your right rib moves toward the top of your right hip. Inhale, back through center. Both elbows pull back on the exhale. Drop the fingertips, cobra pose, breathe in. Child's pose as you breathe out. Knees are nice and wide. Keep your knees wide in your child's pose, but start to walk your hands back and then just sit up onto your heels with the knees split. Left hand's gonna come back behind you. You can come up to the left fingertips. Nice to strengthen the fingers. Lift your right arm, lift your hips. I've heard this called rock star asana. One of my teachers calls it this. So you're opening up the hips, big breath in. We're gonna circle that right hand down, back behind you. Lift your left arm, lift your hips. Nice big breath in. And then sweep the left hand back behind you. Bring your palms down back behind you, bend your elbows, lean back as much as feels comfortable. Maybe you lift the hips here, taking a breath in. Engage your abdominals as you lower your hips to your heels. Reach your arms up over your head, come to standing on your knees, breathe in. Downward facing dog, plant the hands, tuck the toes, send your hips back. Stay here, take one deep breath. Maybe you fix your gaze to one spot. Stay for the exhale. Hold the breath out of your lungs, step, walk, or hop to the top. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Chest to thighs, breathe out. Rise all the way up on the in-breath. We go right back down with the exhale. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Listen, this time, step or hop back to chaturanga. You can lower all the way to your belly if you'd like, or come into upward facing dog. Long inhale, press into the tops of the feet. In either one of these shapes, lift the knees. Straight to downward facing dog this time. Roll over your toes. Stay, breathe in. Breathe out. Hold the exhale, look forward. Step, walk, or hop between your thumbs. Halfway stretch, breathe in. We're gonna add on, fold forward as you breathe out. Rise all the way up on the in-breath. Lightning chair, send your hips back. Keep your hips low, chair pose, breathe in. Prayer twist to the right. Left elbow hooks outside of that right thigh. Stay here in your prayer twist or open your arms like wings. Take a big breath in, lengthening the crown of the head away from the tailbone. If you opened your arms like wings, exhale, bring your palms back together. Chair pose to the center, breathe in. Prayer twist to the left as you breathe out. Stay here or spread your wings on the inhale. Stay there or palms together on the exhale. Back to the center, big breath in. Fold forward and release. Halfway stretch, set up on the inhale. Step walk or float it back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You can always step straight to downward facing dog. It's a great place to personalize your practice. Once you land, right leg lifts. Put a bend in your right knee as you externally open that hip. Stay here, take a couple breaths to explore some movement in your right ankle or your right knee. Keep pushing your right hand down just as much, if not a little bit more than the left, to square your chest toward your grounded left leg. Re-extend your right leg, breathe in. We're gonna step the right foot between the thumbs, drop your back knee down. Anjaneyasana, reach the arms up. You can keep the back toes tucked or you can untuck them. Whatever feels best in your ankle is great. But really lift the ribs away from the hips. Drawing your lower abdominals in and even lifting the pelvic floor up to find even more of a foundation. The stronger our foundation is, the bigger we can expand and stretch and build. Big inhale here. Hanumanasana, release the fingers, start to straighten out the right leg, sending your hips back until you feel a stretch in the back of the right thigh or calf. Come back to those long inhales and slow exhales. Seeing if you can notice where you feel the breath in the body. See if you can breathe into your back, bottom ribs. So down toward the kidneys and the adrenals even. Let the diaphragm inflate and expand and stretch in areas that might get a little tight for some of us. Look forward. We're going to set up a dragonfly twist from here. Left hand goes down, left toes tuck under. Reach your right arm up and open, and then wiggle your right foot, toe heel it over toward the right a little bit more. Find some space in the spine as you hug the inner thighs toward midline. We're going to stomp down into that right foot and push down through your left hand. Right elbow, that one that's lifted, is going to come underneath your body inside of the right knee. Shift forward, and then left elbow is going to come to meet that right elbow maybe. Go back to your dragonfly. Inhale it up and open, stretch. And then exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze it in. You can find a pace that works for you if you want to go faster or slower. Dragonfly on the inhale. Elbow to knee, hold it here if you can. We meet up here. We're going to bring the right hand down as we find balancing half moon. Oh my goodness. Great place to use a wall or a piece of furniture if you've got one. You can also bring your right hand to the front of the right hip and thigh and use that hand as a little reminder to keep sending that hip crease back in space. Finding length in your spine. Lift the arms wide on the in-breath. Malasana, we've got our yogi squat. Heels and toes out at the top of the mat. Stay here. You might find a little sway side to side. Bring your thumbs right up against your heart. Press your elbows into your knees. Breathe in. And then fold forward, release the fingers, heel to the feet a little closer together. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. Plant the hands, step walk or hop it back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhaling deeply. And exhale completely. Once you're there, left leg lifts, put a bend in your knee, find some space in your ankle, maybe some circles through that left ankle or through the left knee, checking in with your left hip socket. All the while coaching yourself to continue to take those conscious breaths, bringing fresh prana and nutrients and oxygen into your body. Re-extend left leg, breathe in. Step between the thumbs, drop the back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Arms come up. You choose if those back toes are tucked or untucked. Let the shoulders lift toward the ears as you reach your arms up and breathe in. And then Hanumanasana, find your hamstring and calf stretch, sending your hips back as you deliberately reconnect with your breath. Maybe you close the eyes and really drop into the sensations of the breath here. If you're breathing Ujjayi, make that constriction in the back of your throat gentle. So we're not breathing with the neck, we're just using the throat as a gateway to control the flow of breath, ideally so that you can breathe a little bit more fully into your lungs in 360 degrees. So you feel the ribs expand, not just forward, but out to the right and the left and to the back. Look forward, dragonfly twist, take your time to set it up. And we heel toe that left foot just a little bit more to the left so there's some space. Stay strong in your back leg. Reach the left arm up. We're gonna bring left elbow underneath the body, so you square the chest to the mat, and then bring right knee to the left elbow, a little balance challenge. Back to dragonfly, breathe in. Left elbow, right knee, breathe out. 3 more, inhale. Focus on moving well here, exhale. 2 more, breathe in. And breathe out, so nice alignment. Last time, big breath in. Elbow to knee, pause, stick it, and then find half moon pose. Peeling your entire body open toward the right as you work to stack the right side of your ribs on top of the left, and maybe even spiral your eyes up toward your right thumb. Take a deep breath in to expand into the stretch, and then slow motion, Malasana, heels in, toes out at the top of the mat. Open your left arm up like a wing here. So we take a big stretch. You can stay there, or you can bind around the outside of the right knee and outer thigh. If you take the bind, keep opening your chest. So if taking the bind means that you collapse in, go ahead and come back to that space. So we're prioritizing space and spinal alignment. If you took the bind, come back to that open stretch, breathe in. And then exhale, the left hand comes down. Swap out your arms, right arm peels open. Lengthen the crown of the head away from your sternum and your tailbone down between your heels. Stay or play around with a bind, using that bind to create even more space in your chest. If you bound, reach the right arm up, big breath in, and then fold forward at the top of the mat, heel toe your feet closer together. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. Plant the hands, step, walk, or hop will meet in downward facing dog. You can skip it entirely. From down dog, right leg lifts. Bend your right knee, stay there, stacking your hips, or flip your dog all the way over, pivoting onto the toes, and then turning your toes toward the back of your mat. Press down through your left arm, shift forward so that that left shoulder is over your wrist. Breathe in. As you exhale, spin around, right knee to your chest, step it through. This time find a high crescent lunge. Keep the back knee lifted, breathing in. And then we're gonna find a wide stance pyramid. So it's reminiscent of that Hanumanasana. You might slide your left foot in a little bit. I like to bend the left knee a bit here and then come onto the right heel, pulling all of my right toes toward my right knee. Drop the head, maybe you give your head a gentle shake or a little nod. From pyramid, rebend the right knee, warrior one. Inhale, the arms come up. And then exhale, warrior two. Take up a little bit more space between your feet on the mat. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Press straight down through your feet, and then energetically try and lengthen your mat out. So we're pushing down with the feet and then outward. Stay there. Find extended side angle, bringing your right elbow to your right thigh. Left arm comes up and over. Keep that action in the legs, pulling the inner thighs up toward midline and pressing your hips toward the left side of your space. Come back up through the center. We're going to straighten out the front knee as we find a reverse triangle or a sky archer variation. Breathing in. And then circle your hands to your lower back, right into humble warrior. Rebend your right knee, drop the crown of the head straight down. Might help to heel toe your left foot a little closer if it feels like you're gonna end up in a splits that you don't mean to be doing. So make sure you can push down into your feet, into the big toe mounds, the center of your heels. One more long breath in. Stay here as you exhale. Set up your dragonfly twist. Spin that back heel up. Reach your right arm open on an in-breath. One time, right elbow, left knee. Hold. Balancing half moon. Lift the left limbs up and open. This time we're going to come into a Shiva squat. You can square your chest to the mat. You might bring your fingers underneath your shoulders, or you bring your hands to your heart. From Shiva squat, we're taking it to a single-legged mountain. I know that right leg is on fire. Lift your left knee, lift your arms, breathe in. And then lightning chair, step that left foot down, sweep your arms to your side. Good, chair pose on the inhale. Prayer twist to the right as you exhale. Stay or open your wings, breathe in. Breathe out, bring the palms together if they're open. Inhale through the center. Exhale, take it to your left. Take a breath in, maybe you open the wings, and a breath out, close them back down. Chair through the middle on the inhale. Fold forward and release. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Vinyasa will meet in downward facing dog. We've got the left side. Keep focusing on moving well and intentionally. Left leg lifts, bend your knees, stay here, or flip your dog. Shift forward so that your right shoulder is over your right wrist, and then push down through that right shoulder. If it feels great, you can drop the head and reach your top arm over your head toward the top of your mat. Take a big breath in, flip it back over, left knee to your chest as you exhale. Step it through high crescent lunge. Rise the arms up, get strong here, find your foundation. And then we're going into that wide stance pyramid. Step or slide your back foot forward a little bit. Drop your head, letting your spine just melt over that left thigh bone. So the feet are probably a little closer together, or you have the option to create that alignment. We're going into warrior one. Root down through your base of your left big toe and the knife edge of your right foot. Breathe in. Warrior two, big stretch across your chest. Find your feet. Take another inhale to lift your heart, and then extended side angle, left forearm, left thigh. Right arm sweeps up and overhead. Keep anchoring down to the knife edge of your back foot so that right leg is strong. Both legs are doing equal amount of the work here. We're going to come to reverse sky archer or reverse triangle. Inhale, reach your left arm up. As you exhale, circle the hands to the lower back. Lift your heart, rebend your knee. Breathe in. Humble warrior. Crown of the head points down. A little neck check here. Can you soften the jaw, your mouth? Notice if you're holding tension around your brow or your temples. You let the head be heavy without trying to hold it up here. Keep diving into the sensations of your breath. One more full cycle in through your nose. Slow exhale, dragonfly twist transition. Right hand down, lift your left arm up and open. Breathe in. One time, elbow to knee. Balancing half moon, peel the body open to the right side of your space on the inhale. Maybe you look up towards your right thumb. Shiva squat, yoga curtsy at the top of the mat as you exhale. Find a single-legged mountain, right knee comes up, arms reach, breath in. Lightning chair, sweep it back as you empty. Chair pose, inhale. Twist to the right as you exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come back to the center. Stay low on the in-breath. Twist to the left as you exhale. We've got a breath cycle to play in and out. Back to the center, breathe in. Fold forward and exhale. Halfway stretch, prep yourself here. Step, walk, or hop it back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Keep the breath smooth, breathing in. Pull your heart through your arms. Down dog, press your hips up and back. Right leg lifts on the inhale. Bend your knee, stay or flip. Just for your inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, right knee to your nose, step it through. High crescent lunge. We're gonna add one little piece on here, breathe in. Cactus your elbows, find a little back bend as you breathe out. Back to high crescent on the inhale, straight to warrior two this time as you exhale. Take a breath in, stretch the fingers even wider. Extended side angle. Pause here. This is a great place to be. Breathe with this. You can always bring your right fingertips down if you'd like a little bit more. Otherwise, we're gonna play around with finding a bind. So bringing your hands behind, right arm comes underneath your right thigh, left arm comes back behind it. If you've got the bind and you know Bird of Paradise or Bound Half Moon and you'd like to play with it, go for it. If the bind just isn't working out for you, come back to warrior two with me. We're gonna hook the right elbow outside and then underneath your right knee, bring your left hand to your left hip. So you've got one version of a bind. Look forward. Spin your left heel up. We're gonna try and take a big step with the left foot to the top. Left foot is underneath your left hip. Keep hold of whatever bind you've got, and then we're gonna rise up, bringing that right knee up with you. So you might be in the traditional bind, in which case play around with straightening that right leg, or you're with me right here, using your right forearm to lift that right knee and that left hand to support your balance at your hip. Stay there or start to straighten that right leg out. You can point the toes or flex the foot. We're going to slowly work back to our extended side angle. Remember, holding ourselves to really high standards, but giving ourselves all the compassion in the world with how things work out. From extended side angle, reverse sky archer, straighten out that front knee for a moment, breathe in. Then exhale, interlace your hands, rebend your right knee, lift your heart, fill your lungs. Humble warrior as you empty out. Dragonfly twist right away, inhale and open. Elbow to knee one time, exhale it in. Balancing half moon, spin up and open, big stretch. Shiva squat at the top of your mat. Single-legged down, lift your left knee, lift your arms, breathe in. Lightning chair, sweep the fingers back. Chair pose, inhale. Twist to the right on the exhale. You've got a full round of breath in and out. Back to the center, breathe in. Twist to the left as you breathe out. Fill your lungs up in the twist. Stay for the exhale. Maybe you go a little deeper. Chair, take a breath in. Chest to thighs, let it go. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Vinyasa, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Skillful with your breath in. Down dog on the exhale. Left leg lifts, bend your knees, stay or flip. Inhale, heart open, hips lift. Exhale, left knee to your chest, step it through. High crescent, breathe in. Cactus the elbows, pull your heart through your arms, lift your chest, lift your chin. High crescent lunge, inhale, find that stable alignment in the spine, and then warrior two as you exhale. Stay here, take a big breath in. Extended side angle. So same deal as on the other side. Be willing to show up exactly as you are with whatever range of motion, whatever strength is here today, and see if you can just appreciate that without needing it to be any different than it is. So you can find a little challenge, but we're always honoring the body's natural boundaries or current capacity. Option to take that bind around the outside of the left leg if that feels accessible. Otherwise, meet me by bringing your left arm outside of the left knee. Make a little sling for your left knee with your left elbow.
Right hand to your hip, shift your weight forward. I'm actually resting the weight of my ribs on the left thigh. Right heel comes up, and then step your right foot underneath your hip. Lift your left heel. Slowly start to rise it up. Your version of bird of paradise. Option to start to extend that left leg. Try and keep the spine long here, keeping your shoulders over your hips. So many things going on. Just do your best to focus on finding that foundation in your right foot and leg, and then letting the pose happen from the base up. If you're in a version of bird of paradise, skillfully, slowly, with control, start to work your way back to our extended side angle version. Once you find extended side angle, take a big breath in and a breath out. Let's take Skya Archer, reverse triangle, open it up, left knee straightens. Exhale, interlace your hands at your lower back. Bend your knee, lift your heart, fill your lungs. And then humble warrior, drop the crown of the head down, work the knuckles away from your body. Dragonfly twist, inhale, lift. Elbow to knee, exhale, squeeze. Half moon, peel open, create some space, breathe into it. Shiva squat at the top of your mat. Single-legged mountain, lift the knee, fill the lungs. Lightning chair, sink your hips back, stay here. Reach your hands to your heart, and then lift your heels. Try and keep your heels pointing straight back in line with your third toe. So you can look down, big toes are together, but the heels are slightly apart. From your toe stand, try and bring the heels together. And then try and bring the heels apart. So it's just a little rotation of the ankle, the knee and the hip. Heels apart and heels together. Playing around with that. Lots going on in the feet, the ankles, the inner thighs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels lift. Stand all the way up on your toes. Squeeze the thighs together gently. Reach up. Keep the heels elevated if you can. Wing your arms by your side. Start to lean the chest forward, sending your butt back. Diver pose, reaching the arms by your side like airplane. From here, we're going to drop the heels down. Stand all the way up. Hook your thumbs together over your head. Pull the arms back. Breathe in. And then exhale, drop your arms to your side. Let your eyes close. Separate your feet a little bit wider. And then just breathe. Notice where you can feel your breath. See if you can breathe. A lot of us breathe into our neck and our shoulders. And just notice that. See if you can send the breath a little bit deeper, as if you could breathe into your sit bones or your pubic bone. Fill the pelvis with your breath. Blink your eyes open. Reach your arms upward on an in-breath. We're going to take that through one more time. Lightning chair on the exhale. Chair pose, breathe in. Twist to the right as you breathe out. Tee your arms open, fill up. And then exhale, palms together. Back to the center, finish your inhale. Twist to the left, long exhale. Stay here, breathe in, lengthen the spine. Twist a little bit deeper as you exhale. Back to center, big breath in. Fold forward and release. Find a high plank and pause. So you're in the top of a push-up in your high plank here. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. And then switch. Bring your left knee to your left elbow. And then switch. We're going to alternate mountain climbers here. If you need a little bit more kind of cardio, if you want to jump, feel free to run it out in your mountain climbers. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7. You're going at your pace, not at my count. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. High push-up, big breath in, straight to downward facing dog. Right away, right leg lifts, bend your knees, stay or flip. Inhale deeply. Exhale, right hand down, knee to your nose. Step it through, high crescent lunge. Breathe in. Cactus the elbows as you breathe out, little back bend. Inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse sky archer right away on the inhale. We're skipping side angle. Exhale the hands to the lower back. Bend your knee, lift your heart, breathe in. Humble warrior as you breathe out. Dragonfly twist open on the inhale. Elbow to knee on the exhale. Balancing half moon, left limbs lift open, breathe in. Shiva squat at the top as you breathe out. Single-legged mountain, rise it up tall on the inhale, a little different. Feet wider than your hips here. Take a squat here as you exhale. So you're in bear, bring your hands to your heart where you reach your arms forward. From bear pose, we're gonna stand it up tall and then sink it down low. This is option one. Little squats here. Arms up as you straighten the knees, hands to the heart as you bend. You can adjust, make this your own. If you want a little bit more, we're gonna do a single leg squat. So rise up, right knee comes up with you. Bring it back down, a little wider than your hips, alternating side to side. 10, working with the range of motion that you can support. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, meet me in Malasana in one. Malasana, hands to your heart. Start to round your spine, sink your butt down onto the mat, reach for the backs of your thighs. Finding high boat here. Use your hands to pull your heart through to find that long spine. Stay here or reach the arms forward. We're gonna play around with tapping the right toes and then tapping the left toes. So you can stay in your high boat right here or tap your toes. From your toe taps, if you've got space, we're gonna start to tap the toes wide. So separate your legs wide. Whew. I'm running into my wall over here. 5, 4, 3, feet together, 2, 1. Rock and roll it back to your back, cross your ankle, step walk or hop, rise all the way up at the top, breathe in. Take it right back down as you empty. Halfway stretch, finish the breath. Step walk or float it back, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Long breath in, long breath out. Left leg lifts once you're there. Inhale, bend your knees, stay or flip. Take a breath in, lift the hips. Exhale, left hand down, knee to your chest. Step through, high crescent lunge, breathe in. Cactus elbows, little heart opener, breathe out. Reach through your arms on the in-breath. Warrior two on the out. Reverse sky archer, reverse triangle, whatever we want to call it, breathe in. Exhale, rebend that front knee, interlace the hands of the low back, lift your heart, fill your lungs. Humble warrior as you empty it out. Dragonfly twist, breathe in, peel open. Elbow to knee, exhale it out. Half moon, spin open toward the right side, breathe in. Shiva squat at the top of the mat, breathe out. Single-legged mountain, lift up tall on the inhale. Heels wide, hands to the heart. Malasana, a little bit different. Point your toes forward, so instead of turning the toes out and heels in, feet are parallel. Sink down into your hips, but stay strong in your legs. Push the floor away for your feet, and then rise up, pump the arms back behind you, lift your heart. Inhale, hands to the heart, sink it down. Exhale, push and lift. Strong legs here. Find a pace that feels challenging, but you have control over. So you're pushing your feet down the whole time. Push the feet down when you lower, as well as when you lift. Keep pushing the floor away. 10, 9, 8, 7, last 6, 5, 4, 3, as you can, that's 2 and 1. Stand all the way up, reach up, big breath in. Open mouth, cherry diver, exhale. Inhale, reach up, 2 more times. Exhale, let it go. Bend your knees, swing your arms, breathe in. Breathe out. Take it all the way up. Walk your feet a little closer together. If you've got space, swan dive the arms and then fold forward. Halfway stretch, maybe the feet are together. We're gonna play around with trying to bring your hips down to your heels with the feet together here. okay if you need to come up onto your toes. It's okay if you can't drop your hips down. If you're here, reach the arms forward, sink the hips down onto the mat, high boat Navasana. Stay here or reach your peace fingers for your big toes. Set your eyes to one spot. Slow your breathing down. You close your eyes. Find some ease around the muscles of the eyes. Bend your knees out to your sides. Bring the soles of the feet together and then interlace your hands around the outer edges of your feet. So we're in a boat variation with butterfly legs. From your boat variation with butterfly legs, slowly send the knife edges of your feet down. Reach your arms up, shimmy your shoulders up, let your ribs lift away from your hips, and then hinge forward. You can catch hold of the feet if you'd like. You can also reach the arms out in front of you, or even slide your forearms underneath your shins. And bring your fingers forward. So you can use your arms, maybe walk your elbows toward the knees a little bit. Use your arms to pull into that forward fold. Maybe you even keep the forearms underneath the shins, but you bring your hands back to that sling around your toes. And just notice what's arising for you. The sensation of the breath, the awareness of the breath perhaps. Or maybe a lot of the time what arises is some sort of kind of mental fluctuation. Maybe it's a judgment. See if you can just kind of turn it over in your mind's eye without getting attached to it, whether the thought feels positive or not so positive. And then you decide if you want to keep it or maybe let it float away. Almost guaranteed that another thought will come to take its place soon enough. And in between those thoughts, see if you can come back to your breath. Start to create a little pause at the top of your inhales and a little pause at the end of your exhales. You're ready to release, unwind like a reverse out of that shape. And bring your hands to the outsides of your knees, draw your knees together. And then interlace, or not interlace, but reach your forearms around your shins. Drop your forehead to your knees. You can separate your heels a little farther away from your body and even separate the knees a little bit so that you can rest your face between the knees. From here, we're going to slowly roll down onto the back. Bring your right knee with you. Extend the left leg out. Bring your hands behind the right knee. Find a little stretch for your hamstring. If it feels good to bring some movement into your top foot or your ankle, go for it. Rebend your left knee. Bring your right ankle over the top of the left thigh for a figure 4 stretch. You can also come into a half pigeon if you'd rather. If you're in figure 4 and you want to work with this on your back, but you need just a little bit more, keep your legs in the same position that they are. Push into your left foot so that you can scoot your hips just a little bit to your right. Lift the hips and scooch them to the right. And then guide the sole of your right foot down to the mat outside of the left knee. So we still got like that figure 4 leg configuration, but now we've added a little twisting element, some rotation. The more you shift your right knee gently away from your body in either one of these versions, the more intense the stretch is.
If you've added the rotation here and it would feel good to nod your chin to the right, do it. You're ready, slowly release back through the center. You can hug one or both of your knees into your chest. Take a moment, take a breath. And then the left knee stays in as you extend the right leg. Give your knee a hug. It can be gentle, it can be tight. And then extend the left leg up. Maybe you find some movement in your top foot or ankle. Maybe you just appreciate some stillness after a lot of movement in our flow today. Figure 4, plant your right foot underneath the knee, left ankle to the top of the right thigh. It's a great place to stay, to breathe, to encourage your left knee gently away from your body. Or if you'd like, shimmy your hips a bit to the left, and then keeping that figure 4 leg shape, drop the left foot down outside of your mat to the right. You might even reach the right fingers down and catch your left ankle. T or cactus your left arm. And keep the neck neutral or rotate your chin to the left. And start to unwind from your twist. Untangle your legs. Let's take the feet down underneath the hips one last time. Press into your feet just as an opportunity to lift the hips, to release the lower back. Lift up into one more bridge. If you want, you can walk your feet a little closer to you and reach your fingers for the ankles. So hands are on the outside of the ankles and fingers are on the front. Using your arms to encourage that extension in your upper spine. Let the shoulders pull toward each other. Try and keep your knees in line with your ankles. Breathing in. And then slowly, slowly release. Toggle your knees from side to side as you bring your arms into a goalpost shape. Let this side to side motion be really slow. Maybe you nod your chin the opposite direction of your knees. Take your time to work your way from this, it's called hammock pose, this dynamic rotation of the spine and the hips and pelvis. From this version, this moment of movement, take your time to find stillness in a final resting shape, whether that's Shavasana or something else of your choosing. And try not to skip this part. I know it can be tempting. Ultimately, really seeing this moment as an opportunity to receive, to fill your cup, to reset any of those energetic areas of depletion, so that this practice can really sink in and support us in just a few minutes when we move into whatever's next in our day. Stay here, maybe affirming to yourself, I am open to receive. Listen for my voice to end our practice shortly. When you're ready, you can start to invite some deeper breath into your body or some gentle movement. It might feel good to nod the head side to side, Bring some rotations into the ankles or the wrists. Moving in a way that still feels really mindful, deliberate. Find a seat. Zero rush to get there. When you land, you'll sit up nice and tall. Bring your arms down by your side. We'll take a cleansing breath as you reach the arms out to your sides, palms face up. Keep reaching the arms up over your head. Let your shoulders lift toward your ears. Draw the fingers even farther upward. Finish your inhale. And then sigh it out, let it go. Namaste. Thank you for sharing some of your day. Keep taking good care of yourself. I hope to see you again soon. Try and shut off my recordings here. Bye.